Wow, so this just in. Tesla just reported their first quarter earnings and they soared past earnings estimates. As a result, we've seen Tesla's stock price increase nearly 10% to about $870 as I'm making this video right now. In this video, we're gonna be going over why their price soared today and kind of what it means to you as an investor. I'll dive into their company financials and I'll also share my opinions about what I think the future of Tesla stock is going to be like. So make sure to watch this whole video and you'll come out with a better understanding of Tesla as a company, as well as why they are so strong. Now, Tesla is a very volatile stock, and we've seen the 52-week low for Tesla stock at $176.99, and it ranged all the way to $968.99. So huge jumps and huge declines. If you look at a 6-month chart of Tesla stock, you can see that last year, at the end of last year, the price was about $300 to $400, and then it gradually rose really fast actually to the 700s and 800s and even 900s in February. After that, we saw a huge decrease all the way back to the mid 300s, actually reaching $361 on March 16th, which is just over 1 month ago. Since then, it's rallied back to the 800s, which is just insane for a stock like this. So even earlier this morning, before these earnings reports came out, Tesla was valued in the high 700s. And I know this because I actually sold some of my stock this morning. I'm definitely kicking myself right now, but it's okay because I still have a significant portion of my actual portfolio invested in Tesla. So I was very, very happy to hear this news. And personally, I will be sitting on these Tesla stocks for the long run, and I will be buying more if it does drop, or if I see a lot more potential in the Tesla stock and think it's undervalued, even at its high points right now. So let's get into the numbers and see why Tesla stock boosted so much after hours today. So according to the first quarter earnings released late Wednesday, Tesla earned an adjusted profit of $1.24 per share for a total quarterly profit of about $224 million. This is based on a total revenue of about $6 billion. Now, the reason why this is crazy is because this was in stark contrast to the actual expected earnings for Tesla. Analysts actually believed that there would be a loss of 37 cents per share. So of course, when you're expecting something that's negative, but you get something that's actually positive, that's a really good sign. Their revenue of $6 billion was also quite a bit higher than the analyst's prediction of $5.8 billion. This was the first quarter in Tesla's history that they have achieved a positive GAAP net income in the first quarter, which is normally a very, very slow quarter. GAAP is a standardized recording method that was developed by the Financials Accounting Standards Board, FASB. It's basically just a way to track income that is standardized. Now, like I kind of mentioned before, this is very cool because Tesla achieved this during a pandemic. Not only was it during a pandemic like this, but it was also during the first quarter, which normally sees really slow growth. We've heard that their American factories have had to be shut down, but despite these setbacks, Tesla has actually come out quite strong. Their Shanghai Gigafactory saw better profit margins due to their higher volume growth. And quite interestingly, the Model Y, which was just released, saw profits for its first quarter, which has never happened to Tesla before. All of the other cars that Tesla has released, such as the Model 3, Model X, Model S, these cars have all had losses during its first quarter. So seeing this for the Model Y is extremely, extremely awesome. I mean, it makes sense when you take a look at the Model Y. It's the perfect size, so not too big like the Model X, and it's coming out at a time where these compact SUVs are all the hype. It has great technology, just like the Model 3, and it looks extremely impressive. I mean, man, that thing looks good, especially the performance variant. So now let's kind of go through their financial summary and their earnings report. You can actually read this on your own, and I will put a link to it in the description below. So here's the financial summary straight from Tesla's earnings report. So if we look at their total revenues, we can see that for quarter one of 2020, they hit $5.985 billion. This is up from $4.541 billion in Q1 of last year. And that does represent a year-on-year growth of 32% in total revenues. Now, this increase is big, but it could have been even bigger had this pandemic not hit. As a result of this pandemic, Tesla was actually not able to deliver a lot of cars that they had originally planned to deliver. They had a shortage of staff, and it's just hard to deliver cars to people on a person-to-person basis when everyone is quarantined in their own home. Aside from the total revenues, we can also see that their automotive revenues went up to $5.132 billion in Q1, up from $3.724 billion in Q1 of last year. So that is a significant growth. Let's also take a look at their gross margins. So for their automotive gross margin, this is up to 25.5% for Q1 of 2020, up from 20.2% from last year. And their total GAAP gross margin is up to 20.6%, up from 12.5% last year. So really, we are seeing some really great trends with Tesla. They are becoming more profitable, and their total revenues and automotive revenues have not been hit as much as people thought it would be. Note that these gross margins are actually the highest they've been in 18 months. Let's also take a look at the bottom of this financial summary, and let's look at where their cash is right now. So right now, Tesla has about $8.08 billion in cash, up from $6.3 billion from last quarter. And if you compare that to the earlier quarters, you can see that their cash has increased significantly. Last year, actually, it was as low as $2.198 billion. Now, on the notes, it does say that this was in large part due to their recent $2.3 billion capital raise. As you can see here, their free cash flow dropped all the way to negative $895 million, down from about $1 billion last quarter. This is due to the pandemic actually interrupting their operations. And now it is on par pretty much with Q1 of 2019. Also, let's take a look at their capital expenditures. And you can see that this is also up to $455 million due to the factory upgrades that they needed to do to produce the new Model Y. So we have seen a general uptrend in how much they are spending on capital expenditures. Okay, let's now take a look at their operational summary direct from Tesla. So if you look at their Q1 numbers for the Model S and the Model X, you can see that they made about 15,390 units of these cars. This is actually down from last quarter when they made almost 18,000 of these cars. However, you can see that their Model 3 and Model Y production is actually up a little bit from Q4 of last year, up from 86,958 to 87,282 this quarter. So that's pretty cool to see that they're actually increasing these lower cost cars, which will be their bread and butter, even during a pandemic like this. So overall, we've seen that their total production has fallen just a little bit from 104,891 last quarter to 102,672 this quarter. However, in the long run, in the last year, we've seen their total production go from 77,000 all the way to 103,000, which is a year-on-year increase of 33%. Very impressive. Now here, if we look at their Model S and X deliveries, we can see that in this quarter, it's actually down quite significantly from last quarter. It's down to 12,230, and last quarter, it was actually all the way up to almost 20,000. And for Model 3 and Model Y deliveries, this is also down to 76,266 from 92,620 last quarter. There have also been various tech advances with Tesla in the last quarter. What's cool about this company is that they can actually make a ton of updates with their cars over the air, so you don't even need to take it in. It just updates on its own when Tesla wants it to. For example, they made improvements to their autopilot and self-driving technologies in their cars. They also updated their vehicle software to include a lot more features. This includes their dashcam viewer, which allows users to view their Sentry Mode videos. Also, it extended the range for Model S and Model X, and they also had some cool updates with their energy and solar businesses. So as far as their outlook right now, Tesla does not have guidance for 2020. This is due to the fact that they think it won't be accurate due to these unpredictable times. However, in terms of volume, they are still saying that they will deliver over 500,000 cars this year. This is despite the interruptions, which is a very impressive number for Tesla. In fact, analysts previously thought that Tesla would only be able to deliver close to like 400,000 cars this year. We'll see if Tesla can keep their word, but their estimate of over 500,000 cars is significant. As far as cash flow, they will continue to invest in their product roadmap, and they will also continue to invest in their expansion plans. This is due to the fact that they do have sufficient liquidity for the near future. In terms of profit, yes, Tesla hasn't given us any numbers yet for their guidance, but they do think that they can increase their profit margins for this year. And the fact that Tesla says they will ramp up their Model 3 and Model Y production in both their Shanghai factory and Fremont factory is good news. So guys, trading Tesla is a little bit weird. It seems to trade on its own market away from everything. So what should you do? I mean, should you buy Tesla right now, hold on to whatever Tesla you have, or should you sell it? Well, it's pretty hard to say, but you always have two opposing groups. One that says Tesla all the way to the moon. They think that Tesla is the future and they think that Tesla is going to skyrocket. And then you also have those people that think that Tesla is always overvalued. I personally think that Tesla is the next Apple of cars and tech. I mean, it's not just an automaker. They don't only make electric cars. I know the valuation right now seems quite crazy because technically right now it is worth more than most of the American car companies combined. It's doing for cars and battery technology and other tech exactly what Apple did with phones. They completely revolutionized the game. So in the long term, I do have very high expectations for Tesla, and I do expect it to hit the mid 1000s in the next few years. Now, don't get me wrong, this is speculative. I am not a professional, but when I look at Tesla's financials, when I look at their leader, Elon Musk, I see so much potential for a company that has the possibility of totally changing the world. But I think like most people, I am quite scared to trade Tesla because it seems to react violently to news that is good or bad. Personally, I will continue to hold on to the shares that I currently have, and I will buy more if it does drop. If I don't see any other companies that I think will explode in growth, then of course I will also be investing more of my money into Tesla, even at these high prices. In the long run, I don't think it matters too much if you buy Tesla at $800 or $600 or even like $900 or $1,000. I think that despite these prices and its ultra high valuation, Tesla will be worth a lot more in the future. I don't think it will grow as fast as some of these other speculative stocks such as Carnival or Delta. I think those have a lot of upside, but those also have a lot more risk. With Tesla, it's like, yes, I think they will be worth a lot more, but the question is, do I want to put my money there and get a pretty much guaranteed growth of, let's say, 50%? Or do I want to invest my money even more aggressively in stocks that might go bankrupt, but have the possibility of tripling or even quadrupling? It really depends on your investing strategy. If you are okay holding on for the long term and you are okay seeing Tesla go up and down, then I think Tesla could be a very smart stock to buy. As always, I want you guys to do your own due diligence before buying a stock, because really, if you want to invest, you need to know the company for yourself and curate your own opinion about Tesla. I'm just some guy on the internet who has an opinion about Tesla and who actually invests in Tesla himself. But these are just my thoughts, and I kind of went over why Tesla stock saw this huge jump in price after hours today due to their earnings report. I have high hopes for the stock, but we'll have to wait for Q2, Q3, and Q4 to see how Tesla performs the rest of the year. Guys, if you haven't yet signed up for WeBull, make sure to do that and claim your 2 free stocks. Once you deposit $100 or more, you will receive 2 stocks, one of them being valued up to $1,400. I use this platform for myself. It is a great platform, very easy to use, and it is completely free as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe to see more videos just like this. I will be posting more and more stock videos as the market changes and as we see new updates with all these companies. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.